must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center in Nairobi, across in Kenya. Good morning, Miriam.
A very good morning to you, Doc, and I see you love your tea so much.
Yes, it looks like I've talked quite a lot since morning. Therefore, I lost a bit of strength. But I've now regained my strength and I can go on and talk freely. Good morning. This is Editor's Memo across to the continent of Africa, to the people of Kenya, and on the type of happenings that are taking place, that took place yesterday in Kisumu. Miriam, I will make a short statement. One, violence in any form is not my hobby. Violence cannot and will not solve the problems that Kenya has. Kenyans and the Kenyans need a redemption strategy. A redemption strategy that will bring about peace. I have sung over 4,000 times the word redemption strategy. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, together with former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga and the government of Republic of Kenya, agreed to form and bring out a BBI format of building bridges initiative, which is, in short, is one of the strategies of a redemption strategy of healing process for a country to be able to be healed before it goes to an election. The tidings and the waves that are taking shape in this country indicate that there might be a lot of bumpy road ahead to 2022. The shockings of yesterday's violence, which nobody should condemn leaders of political parties, but condemn humanity, condemn morality, condemn the consciousness of individuals, including the Deputy President himself. If you lose morality, you lose consciousness. If you lose consciousness, you lose morality. Have we lost morality in this country? Yes, we have. Have we engaged a lot in corruption that we have forgotten the norms, the type of tone of language, the language used that could trigger chaos? Are we looking at money as the last resort and have forgotten all the tenets of humanity? Are we the same people that vowed never to return to the ICC? Are we the same people that reconciled, shook hands in 2013, 2014, and came back and said violence should never be part and a parcel of Kenya at all. Are we not the same people making mistakes? The same mistakes that we have made since 1992. Yet we see countries neighboring us falling to pieces because of violence. The violence in Kisumu last night is a clear indication that Kenya needs a redemption strategy. Kenya needs a BBI. Kenya needs a moving system that can remove them, that can heal them, that can allow tolerance. The type of intolerance that we see when opponents give out points is just going slowly back to where we were. It is therefore very sad that when we look at all these events that took place yesterday and then tie them with the type of language that is being used, and then tie them with the type of intelligence that the police provided, then tie them with the type of handouts that are being given to Kenyans in order for them to vote the way they should vote. The only conclusion that one can come to it is, and I say it here, and I want Miriam to record because she has a nice pen. She always record it for me, madam, that you don't need this election in this format. I want to state here categorically, the editor's memo, that there is need to do more. There is need to do more before you go for these elections. Already these elections of 2022 is gerrymandered. The Electoral Commission, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, is hovering between a Tower of Babel to Satan, then back to earth. The Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission is contradicting its own principles of law, engaging itself in outpost political martyrdom of populist tendencies that always kill the African dream of independent electoral commissions. The Independent Electoral Commission's Boundaries Commission is waffling from stage 1 to stage 2. One wonders whether there is a law in Kenya that guarantees the right, and when should the elections begin? How long should campaigns take place? The ever-ending campaigns, Miriam and the panel, and all of you watching me, listening to me, I might not be here today or tomorrow to see the vision that I'm laying forward of a redemption strategy. But I want to beseech you, ye, look at yourselves, that when you pick those stones to howl at others, when you go and throw bad words of money, when you go in Mara or Tsafo Reserve and call out for meat and tell the lions, here is the meat, but I've come with very little, I will come tomorrow. And all the lions from Tanzania to Kenya have crowded in Mara in Kenya outside. Will they leave you alone? Will they leave you alone? These are the questions, Miriam. The editor's memo has picked out. For you to announce that I've brought you 2 million shillings, but I will come back next year and bring you more. It's like telling the animals in Mara Reserve Games Park to say that I brought meat, but it is not enough. And they will fight over the meat. And then later on, what do? They will eat you. My vision today of a redemption strategy still stands. That it is only the redemption strategy, accountability, truth-telling, reconciliation, restitution, reparation that will lead to healing for Kenya to rise and shine again. Without that, my dear brothers and sisters of Kenya, we see countries across Africa and Nigeria. I come from a background where a conflict was sparked because of bad elections. I come back 1981, President Museveni came to power telling people, went to the bush, telling people that the elections were not properly conducted, which I agree with him now, that those elections were poorly managed, poorly conducted, poorly done. He used that as a stepping stone to arrive in the bushes of Luwero Triangle and dismembered the government that was in power until it collapsed. And the rest is history, 37 years today. From this background of my conflict, as a conflict resolution expert, I beseech my people of Kenya, my friends, relatives, friends of Kenya, that the only route that you can have a free, a united, a free Kenya, a Kenya for all of you, a country for everybody, a place of peace, a place of harmony, tranquility, is through BBI and the redemption strategy. Maybe the word BBI might have confused so many people. But I want to tell you, the framers of BBI should have consulted the original men of redemption strategy like me. I'm the origin of the redemption strategy. I stand by it and I said it. Immediately the Kenyatta case collapsed in the ICC. I went ahead and I said, let Kenya have a redemption strategy. Hallelujah. That God today sees me. That the miracle that I said and what I said is coming true. That without redemption and without redemption strategy, without those tenets, without those facets of redemption of an ingredient called peace, the ingredient of peace is accountability, truth-telling, reconciliation, reparation, restitution, and it ends in healing. And without that healing, Kenyans, forget it. We have not healed. You have not healed. 37 years ago, I was bitter. 37 years today, I am not bitter. I have healed. I've moved on. I engage instead of fight. I talk peace instead of violence. 37 years ago, we got, or 42 years ago, even more, we talked violence. Our country went down. Violence was worth it. That was the thing of the past. Today, I'm a healed person. Today, I might not have got what I wanted. Today, I might remain as a symbol of hope for those who might have perished without seeing Matanga speak here today. I might remain a symbol of the people of Kenya and Africa, that I will speak about peace. As you see countries across Africa degenerating into fights of secessionism, each country wanting to go away from the central government to form its own tribal kingdoms and the kings and the queens and whatever you want. There is need, therefore, for us to rethink, to review, for the government of Kenya, for the judges, for the Supreme Court, for the entire country to come back and say there is need for us to do a redemption strategy. Without it, it will be very difficult for all the competitors in the 2022 elections to compete freely in some regions where sentiments and the tones and the language used could spark off sentimental occurrences like the ones that have happened or what happened in Kisumu last night. It is one thing to say you have healed, but it is one thing to preach a different thing. It is one thing to know that certain areas are not barricaded for other people. There is no territory which is marked. The territory in Kenya is for all Kenyans. The media is making a mistake to say territory of Raila, territory of Uhuru, territory of Rift Valley of Ruto, territory of Ukambani. These are obnoxious, archaic words that should not be used in the current dispensation of the Kenyan politics. If you mark territories of Western Kenya for Mudavadi, Rift Valley for Ruto, Nyanza for Raila Odinga, Mount Kenya for Uhuru Kenyatta, Ukambani for Kalonzo Musyoka, the cost for Joho or other people, you would be killing this country. You would be fragmenting this country. You would be causing a Yugoslavia when they see Tigray, Yugoslavia happening across north in Ethiopia. I submit, therefore, the editor's memo wants to caution editors of newspapers, those who have barricaded this country into battalions of territories of particular individuals. It is not the blame of Raila or Amolo Odinga. It is the blame of individuals. Nobody controls an individual up to his toilet or his house. You decide by yourself that you have eaten enough, therefore you want to go for short call or long call. Miriam, is there anybody who decides for everybody? It is yourself, you the individual in Kondeli, you an individual in Eldoret, you an individual in Mombasa, you an individual in Murang'a, you as an individual in Nairobi, to say it is bad to pick a stone and throw, to bomb a person, to injure a person, to cut a person. It is your personal responsibility. It must be preached. That is the way a redemption strategy works for countries that have stabilized. I submit and I thank you very much, all of you, for listening to my editor's memo. It will come fully, all of it. And I hope Fred is waking up from slumber to make it very clear that this comes out as it is. I thank you very much. I thank all of you. I thank the panel. We can now discuss. That is my submission. Thank you, Miriam.
All right, Doc, thank you so much. You really highlighted and extensively looked at that issue and touched on so many things that I think Kenyans needs to pay attention to that is important. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to add to that. I know we talked a bit about it early in the morning. Samuel Tawish, do you have anything else you would wish to add to what Doctor has said, or pick on what Doctor has said and you'd like to add your voice to it?
Samuel Tawish is not there, Miriam.
Oh, Daniel Wesonga, sorry.
It's Sharon and Wesonga.
Yes, I'll start with Wesonga. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Miriam Ogutu, and I'm coming to you live from the CBD. And of course, I joined Dr. Matsanga David in the boat of preaching about redemption strategy, which entails peace and harmony in every corner of this country. And that is a very, very sharp reminder that as a country, we need BBI than any other time. Because like Dr. Matsanga said, we are more likely to meet a bumpy road ahead. And what that means is that Kenyans are actually risking to go to the election when the country is so much sharply divided like that, because we cannot have a certain region for a certain individual. And I wish to condemn the chaos that happened in Kisumu in the strongest term possible. And we ought not to see such kind of things happening in this country. So to me, I think I won't dilute whatever Dr. Matsanga has said, but I will reiterate that Kenyans need to mature up. They need to know that every politician has the right to go and sell their agenda. If you do not feel like attending this person's political rally, do not go for that political rally. Don't go there and throw stones, because it only means that perhaps your candidate tomorrow will also be thrown stones that are in the other person's stronghold. So whatever you do as a Kenyan citizen, it will all come back to you, and also to the political leaders. Let us work hand in hand with our security apparatus, and that is why the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination is a very, very important body when it comes to the electioneering period, because it shares intelligence with politicians, it offers them security, and it ensures that wherever you are going to work as a politician, your security, your own security is guaranteed. So when it reaches a time when a politician is given intelligence about a certain risk in a certain area and they ignore it, I think it works against their own success. And therefore, that is also another issue that politicians also should play on their part, because the National Police Service yesterday issued a statement basing on whatever happened in Kondele yesterday, and they said clearly that they had informed the deputy president of the impending danger that was there in Kondele. And also, another issue Dr. Matsanga has talked about, that is the issue of giving handouts. And I'll tell you for a fact, Miriam, I've been on the campaign trail in 2017, supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Deputy President William Ruto in Busia. And one thing that came out clearly, whenever people knew that there was money, they could even fight among themselves. And in that kind of a scenario, you will always find factions fighting to get the attention of the politicians so that they are able to receive this amount of money. And if money is handed to another faction, you realize that hell will break loose. You'll end up even being beaten as a politician. So to me, I think William Ruto can sell his agenda just like JB Muturi is doing, just like Raila Odinga is doing, just like even the Oka team is doing, without giving handouts. Because when you mention to people about carrying some money in your car, you are like welcoming hyenas to surround maybe yourself in the park, like Dr. Matsanga has said. And if you do not give them enough, then they're gonna actually rain on you, and actually chaos will erupt. So to me, I think politicians need to be calculative enough. Let them heed to the intelligence reports. Let them also avoid areas where risk has been established. And Kenyans on their side, also let them be tolerant. That is something that we cannot bargain on. We need peace and we need unity amidst all these campaigns. Let people be responsible people. I submit, Miriam.
Thank you. Sharon?
Sharon.
Thank you very much, Miriam, and very good morning to Dr. Matsanga and my colleague panelist, Daniel Wesonga. Indeed, we had, this conversation extensively in the morning. And from me, it's, what happened yesterday was very bad and, should be confirmed with actually the strongest terms possible, especially now as, we climb up for mature politics and politics of tolerance, shelving of, tribal politics. Let actually everyone be allowed to traverse any part of this country. without actually being judged or anything. If and Daniel Wesonga has actually said, if you're not comfortable with the party, just stay at home. Or you can actually go to the farm and just keep yourself busy. But when all that is said and done, I think we need to get down to the deep root cause of the issue. And I think all my colleague panelists have alluded to the mentality of handout politics. And when you see the reality of why we actually had a voter apathy is because we have capitalized politics, in the sense that everyone believes that they have to be given something for them to go out and register to register as a vote number, as a voter. So that is something that really needs to be called out strongly. The other thing, and you see, even the issue of handouts, especially with the deputy president, it is something that should actually be really called out, because this was not even the first case. I actually mentioned of a case that happened in Makueni. We've had cases that happened in Tito Ande. I think this was actually just came to the limelight, but it is something that he's actually been doing. The other thing is that he would have actually heeded to the intel that actually came from the police. Him actually being the second in command, the president being the first in command, I believe even for him to, before he actually undertakes anything, he gets information, especially from the National Intelligence Service, telling him, briefing him about security. So that is something that I'm actually reading, negligence and ignorance. So, and then in turn, the best they can, his cronies and him at large, the best they can do is try to, call out, the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, which is something very bad. Finally, is the issue of, the utterances that we actually make. Let us be very cautious, and all the leaders, let them be very cautious of whatever utterances they make. The double speak of if you are in trying to sanitize yourself because you're in a different, a former prime minister's backyard, but when you leave that premise, you actually speak, something totally different. So that is something that really needs to be called out. And also, let us not forget that these people actually, this is a stronghold. So at the end of the day, these people might also try and be violent because of what you have actually said in other forums, not just this one. And as I finalize, there's a famous saying by Martin Luther King, where he says that if you have to have peace on earth, let us transcend loyalty. Our loyalties have to transcend in our races, in our tribes, in our class, and in our nation at large. So peace is very paramount, especially now as we climb up towards the election, towards 2022 elections. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And Doc, before we conclude, we saw what happened yesterday. Of course, it's not okay, should not be tolerated. Any violence, Doc, as you've said there earlier, in any way, form or shape, should not be accepted, should not be encouraged. We should not be okay with that as a society, as Kenya, knowing very well where we've come from and what that kind of violence has done to this country, almost sending us to a brink of a very dark time in our country in 2007, 2008, post-election violence. And it just started with things like this, So when such things happen, Doc, in the unfortunate situation that what happened yesterday in Kondele, and what DP started saying in calming the people down, the words that our leaders who find themselves in such situations, what kind of language should they use? Because whatever you choose to say at that moment, it might help in calming the situation or fueling the situation. And if you don't fuel it in that circumstance, then you might use it to fuel. Next time, maybe your opponent goes somewhere else or you go somewhere else. So how should our leaders handle these situations, and what should they be conscious of what they're saying, even in such an unfortunate situation, so that they're able to just calm the situation instead of fueling it further?
First of all, I want to thank you, Miriam, for asking that question. A leader should weigh their language, their words, measure them. You can't go to an area and start calling Raila Matapeli. There are words that you should use. Words like a matapeli, conman, you are denouncing this person. Let's have the literature of politics. Yes, we condemn violence. I don't like to hear the last time I had violence, or the last time I had a quarrel with my wife, Miriam, I told you, it's 45 years ago. And I've told you the strategy I use when she starts. I pick my keys, I go to the pub. Those days when I used to drink, I go to the pub and drink, then call her that I can't come back because police will arrest me, drink driving.
Now that you don't drink, you can go to the church, Doc, when you need to
Now
clear
that
your
I
head.
don't drink, I go to evening church service. Okay. Because the church in Britain is open throughout. People don't go. Yes, you go in the evening, not these guitar churches here. Guitar, and the drums. I don't go. Those are the church there in the evening in Britain. You go and God, you feel God is here. In fact, there you feel God has come.
And you can clear your head. Yes.
Alone. And you will find a pastor is on standby all the time. He said, my son, how are you? How was work? You tell him I have a problem. I'm a refugee. I have come from, oh my God, today I had very bad news. My children were not found by Red Cross like me, Matanga. My children were found by Red Cross. Yes, Red Cross found my children. I couldn't trust them. Because Museveni never wanted to see their faces. So when you tell some people here, they think, oh, maybe I've gone through a lot. I don't want to cry tears here. Tears drop when I think of what I went through. So look, weigh the words. You can't go to Kondeli and they start telling people, you have given 2 million shillings. Ha ha! 2 million shillings, itakuja next year. Niwalete. My friend, 2 million shillings to those multitude is nothing. So these other people will think, Allah, kumbe, iko pesa zilikuja hapa. The fight will start. 2, Miriam, measuring words. You know, I told you here a few days ago that Uhuru grew up in a very good house. Didn't you hear my advice? That Kenya is stable and like it is because Uhuru grew up in a good house. But had it been Ruto now, if we had been under Ruto now, I think some of us would be running in Athi River very far. Because Ruto would lock us up. It's not a lie. You tried. Some of us were here during Moi. Some of us suffered. I don't want to talk much. My dear, we know what happened. You have never been to Nyati House. You have never been to Nyati House. Some of the children here talking, when they see us talk, they call you a Ugandan. Have you ever been to Nyati House? Have you ever been detained in that house? Because they suspect you to be a rebel leader. Because they suspect you to be a rebel leader, fighting a president who has paid them to look for you. How many of you? We have suffered. So we know where violence is. But you are lucky, Kenyans. You found a very good president. He has told you, let's unite the country. You don't want. You go to Kondeli. You insult him as a conman who was conning you with BBI. Yet BBI now. Now, you Kenyans, let me ask you a question. All of you on this show are Kenyans. Nyenye, jameni, nyenye. Munafikiri nyenye ndio mnajua democracy. Kushinda kila mtu. Sindio? Wacha niwaulize. You are now doing a BBI. Piecemeal by piecemeal. Haven't you seen what you are doing? Piecemeal, exactly. It is going to cost the same amount. Then came the wrong judges, which we have of George Soros. Your judges are George Soros part 2. I can name like 10, 20 of them who have been promised money and dollars by George Soros. Hello? Where is this country going, man? This was the only hope that we thought some of us could run to. Ethiopia is gone. Jamen, where is this country going? Judges waking up in the morning, slamming everything that the government is doing. George Soros, after failing to make people come from their homes to the streets, has turned to the judiciary everywhere. I have an experience of Zimbabwe because I work for Zimbabwe. I've been working for Zimbabwe for 20 years. I've never asked for money. I have an experience of how regime change works. And when somebody tells me about George Soros, he thinks I'm telling a lie. We are heading there, Miriam. Look at the way Okina Dr. Ojwang, the Dean of Nazareth, is it Nazarene University, School of Law, how they don't know their background. Does Ojwang know that we know? That does Ojwang know from Homa Bay that I know him more? We know what they want to do. That does Abraham Singoye Korir know what he's doing? Does Mulukomen talk anymore? They went and fixed these guys. They fixed Ruto. Are they not Kenyans? Miriam, are they not? When Mulukomen was writing statements, we've sung, we've Singoye, when they were writing statements, were they writing on a stone? It is this Ugandan who came to go and help to diffuse the statements of Okama. Now they are here. Oh, we love you, Mr. Deputy President. We love you. We love you. Love you. Love you. I am not demanding any piece of your land. Medium Kenyans, hear me. I have a home to go to, and I will not lack sugar. I'm telling you today, frankly, I will not. If you refuse the redemption strategy, you are going to fight. And if you fight, you'll destroy my country. My mother, who's suffering at the age of 90, who has been spared by God's will not have the services. That's why I struggle to bring integrity, healing, integration as East Africans. You can call me names of a Ugandan, I don't care. When I was born, I didn't know that I would be a refugee. Did I? Had I known that I was going to be a refugee, Miriam, I would have told God to take me back. I don't want to cry tears. I would have told God to take me back for me so that I don't become a refugee. It is very bad for you. That's why I'm giving you an example, a live testimony. Never to allow your country to be dismembered by angry politicians like Ruto, who goes to Kondeli with unmeasured language, who goes to Kondeli with intelligence from the NIS and the police intelligence telling him there will be chaos, and he goes to address them. Stupid. Stupid. Then you condemn Raila. Why do you condemn Raila? Why are you condemning Raila? Extend this program now. Today, I think I better bring out my heart. I want to bring out my heart. Extend this program. Why do you condemn Raila for? And Fred, record this. You condemn Raila. What has Raila done? Raila does not tell those boys to pick stones. The boys themselves are annoyed. You have been given intelligence by the National Intelligence System, which has told you, Mr. Deputy President, don't go there. Pack up and cancel the rally and go home. Deputy President, you are Deputy President, you are mature, you are given this oath. You are given reason, don't reason with your feet and your teeth. Reason with your brain. You are a PhD holder, actually, Mr. President, Deputy President. Why do you go to address people when the intelligence of the police have told you prior and you have exchanged with your intelligence that there will be people who will throw stones? Allow the police to arrest those guys because they have the names, but don't go there and tell them now, Miriam Rukia, that I have 2 million today. Mr. Say, Nina yangu meleta 2 million. Play that clip. Play it here. Play it. Then you blame Raila. What has Raila got to do with it? What has Raila got to do with that in violence? Raila was not there. You addressed a very good conference in Kisumu. The first day you did your policy, the intelligence have told you, get out and go home. Go back to Nairobi, come back later. But because you belittle Kenyatta, you belittle Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, you belittle him every day. Every meeting you allow people to insult the president. You think he doesn't have friends like me? Uhuru does not pay me to speak. Listen carefully, Ruto. Uhuru does not pay me to speak. I've been on this world before you. I went to school before you. I did not go to Onyango to seek shoes. I walked on my bare foot 10 miles every day, eating roasted cassava from the ash. Jiggers have ever pierced me. Therefore, listen, man. Look at the scenario over here. ICC case coming now. Nyenye wa Kenya, what is wrong with you? Nyenye wa Kenya, what is going on, man? What is going on? There's nothing in Africa that I've said which has not come true. Didn't I tell you that it was a mistake for Dr. Abiy Ahmed to shake hands with a terrorist called Isaias Afwerki? Didn't I tell you? The day he went to shake the hands, I called him on his telephone. I said, you have made a mistake, Zenawi. Zenawi's grave will turn. Hasn't Zenawi's grave turned in Ethiopia? Tell me Matsanga doesn't know politics. Bring an exam, I will show you. I will even beat you, then mark yours. Bring it, Ruto. Bring it to me. I will mark yours, even right for you to pass. I have predicted so many things. I have nothing to fear. I am 66 years old. I'm going home. God will take me, but my voice will remain. That's why I'm addressing the Kenyans. This violence is not good at all. In 2008, 2007, 8, 9, it was this Ugandan who was called a Ugandan who who stood up against Ocampo? Did you stand up against Ocampo? Show me one person from the Rift Valley who went to TV like me and stood up against Ocampo. I have also a share because my friends that I stood for are here. But when I see my friends daring each other, I don't feel all right. Today, let me tell you my heart. It is not the desire that I can be here being insulted by malcontents, some of them who have not even left their village. Wacha kupuzi yenyu. I've seen so many. I've traveled 122 countries. Show me where you have traveled. I've seen all the food, cuisines. Msiharibu jina ya watu every day. I will not lack sugar. I will go and drink. But this nation is very important for everybody in Africa. Therefore, for me, I have to speak my mind. Violence is not I cannot even, those guys who threw stones, if they are CCTV, they should be picked in Kondeli and go to prison. It is not Raila who told them to do so. Don't condemn unless you knew, unless you play the Machiavellian politics, that you planted your own people to cause Raila a problem, to diminish Raila's popularity. I have been a critic of the former Prime Minister because I knew him before Ruto knew him. Where was Ruto in 1982? I have people, friends, whom I have been with. I cannot name here. Have you seen Raila ever insult Matsanga? Show me one day when Raila insulted me. Show me. Play a clip where Raila came and said Matsanga is stupid. Because he has respect for the suffering that I've gone through. It is not easy for you to lose your nationality. It's not easy for you to be a refugee in Stockholm, like we were running around in Paris with Raila in Scandinavian countries. So when we tell you to have peace, not violence, don't think we are criminals. Don't call me a Ugandan. Don't call me any name. It is okay. But you want a Mzungu Livingstone or Stanley to come and tell you, we need peace here. You want the British High Commissioner to tell you. But you don't want a man who is respected by the British High Commissioner and the Americans, who has studied along with them. He's black and to tell you, isn't it? Go your way. You are going to have, you want an election. Miriam, open up. Let me finish this anger today. I have past 7 minutes. Look at the Chebukati. Look at this. And let the government, let the President Uhuru Kenyatta hear me. Me, Chebukati, I found Chebukati in Sarova Hotel. Sarova Sands Hotel. He sent his PA to call me. He was seated in a corner. Chebukati, you remember what you told me. I don't want to say it here. My friend, you are causing problems for Kenyans. You see the timetable of this election, you can't manage it. Mr. Chebukati, you don't even have money to run elections. You tried voters, people refuse. Why have people refused? Because you have not sensitized them. Where is the voter education money? Where did it go, Chebukati? Ilienda wapi? Wewe ulisikia wapi? Pesa iko wapi? Medium is there. Let's go to the books of, let's go. Let the EACC go today to the books of IEBC, and find out how much money they have used on voter education, How many of you in Kenya have been given voter education? How many? How many of you? Muniambie leo. Wewe Songa, don't tell me this. How many of you? Do you know where the money has been eaten, Mr. President? Hakuna voter education, iko wapi?
Yes.
There is a vote for voter education. Chebukati, where is that money? How many people did he recruit to educate Kenyans on their rights of voting? Muniambie. Open up. And today I'm opening up. Because enough is enough. You can't glorify violence by saying Ruto was beaten. I am happy. No, I'm not happy. I have differences with Ruto, the deputy president of Kenya, including differences on my own country. My own country depends me. But I've never shown anybody. And I'll never get a stone. Never get one stone to throw at him. I'll only get a prayer that one day, the truth will come out. Why do you get stones to stone a man who is saying a policy which people in Kodere don't understand? Leave him to go. You don't understand his policy. Bye-bye. Vote the policy you want. So far, between the two policies, if I was a Kenyan, a voter, two policies, Ruto and Raila's policy. Raila scores on welfare state. Don't run around with stupid words that bottom. What? You are talking about a welfare state. Raila scored there. Raila scored. I was a critic of Raila. Very strong critic. And if I see him go wrong again, I will criticize him. What will he do? What? What will Raila do? He will live in the moon where I have not lived. What will he do? Mzee atafanya nini? Nilifanya nini? Tulikuwa pamoja. Tulikuwa tunapambana pamoja mwa Kenya. Sasa atasema hajui mimi. Wewe unajulikana na Raila. Raila anakujua kushinda mimi. My friend, when we are struggling to bring democracy, when we are struggling to bring political parties across in Uganda, Besigye was eating. Besigye was eating. Look at people. People ask me all questions every day. Oh, why don't you join Besigye? Do you know my age under Besigye? You know that I'm older than Besigye. You know that my children are almost equivalent to Besigye. When we are struggling for freedom for political parties in Uganda, Besigye was eating. He was the one making the laws that are killing Uganda today. Then between Besigye and Museveni, why should I trust Besigye and not Museveni? It's better to die with the horse you know than the horse that made you to be killed, to be beaten up, to be locked up. My friends have died. My friends have died in the hands of Besigye when he was the Minister of State for Internal Security. How many of us were locked in Luzira? How many? Unaniambia every day, this. This internet is everywhere now. In fact, in London, the headquarters that are formed there now, it is Raila, keep the flag. Utakuwa supported kabisa. Keep the flag. Tuonane na hawa watu. Unatisha Uhuru every day. You are threatening Uhuru. Court gani hiyo? Court. Which court is this? Me, anything I tell people, me, this court, You don't know. It's the same court. It's the same way they are doing in Zimbabwe. It's the same way they are doing elsewhere. George Soros has entered every institution. Another person, this musician was playing music in favor. Oh, wherever I know. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. This boy here. Then you tell me that I, Matsanga, support this boy. Support who? Who? Tell me. Uniambia leo. When you are praising the same guy. Leo Kenya nyenye mjue kutoka leo. Listen to me. Everybody is on earth on a purpose. God has kept me alive on a purpose. The same people who butchered us turn around and find us in exile. And then they want us to support them. The same people who wanted Raila Amolo Odinga to go to prison. The same guys like Ruto in YK 92 wanted Raila to be damned. You people. It pains, but that is what a nation is. Raila has suffered for this nation. If he doesn't want to stand, he's going to tell people that he will stand. He has given so and so, isn't it? But he has worked. Don't underrate him. Don't put him into stupidity of yours, where you go to his area and start calling him Matapeli. Why? Why don't you use a good language? I don't think Raila can go to Eldoret North in Itarubo, in Sungoya, and call Ruto Matapeli. He's very cultured. On going to there, he can say it somewhere else in the coast. But you're home. You're home, even if it is you now who is condemning Raila. Someone comes to your house and calls you, you are very big feet, you are hippo. Matsanga, they call me hippo. So what? Call me. Call even more names. Call me. Call me even more. I am thick with a thick skin. Ruto's Facebook boys, Tanga, you can't manage me. You can molest. Wakina Polini, Njoroge and the rest. I don't know them. I don't work with them. I'm alone. One single guy like this. I keep the legacy of His Excellency the President. He has done very good things. They must go on record. I will produce 3 books before I depart Kenya. And I have finished the first one. It is coming out. The second one, then the last one. If you didn't know, I keep the legacy. So leo wacha tuambiane ukweli. Go and do whatever you want to do. I'm ready. I will not lack food. It's very sad. Yes, this is it. You read this is an institution I don't like. Do you know, Miriam, what has annoyed me? To read that headline. Can you read that headline again? How did that man find himself in this? Because of his type of language.
That headline, it was on the Daily Nation. A DP's file now in Gishero's case, meaning matter could be revived if lawyer is found guilty.
Of course he will be found guilty. This is not like a Kenya court. You can call one lawyer and give money. One judge. No. He will be found guilty. It is difficult to defeat the chief prosecutor, Miriam, on Article 70. I was the only man here. Look at me. Look at my eyes and my lips and let me remove the glasses. who defeated the chief prosecutor on Article 7. He wanted to take me down. I would have served 5 years in Belmarsh because there is no other prison I can be locked up in the world except in Britain. Yes, you returned me there. Did you know that? That's it. Return me there. I have not. The chief prosecutor wanted to take me there. Can you believe that? I defeated him. Article 70 is the most dangerous article. The chair will be pinned with evidence that to a certain point he will submit. But the story will come out.
Doc, there are 5 witnesses who were bribed not to testify against the DP allegedly, and they're willing to come and testify that they were bribed.
Exactly. And then there are several evidence, this heap of evidence. What case will you win there, Mr. Gicheru? How? These things come because we are not yet healed. We have not healed ourselves. Because the DP is not healed. He goes on antagonizing everybody. He thinks that because Karim, you know, if the case comes back to the court, Karim Khan has to resign. Does he see the implications? Do you know the implications? Karim Khan cannot be the prosecutor of that case. He will resign. Because he's part of it. He told lies. If the case is proved, it would mean he also told lies. Umesikia hiyo? Ulisikia wapi? There are some quack lawyers here parading themselves on TV. Oh, I know international law. What if international law my fault? Why don't you tell people the truth? Khan is if it was not Britain, if he did not have the British passport, Khan would be an Akula cassava here. Yeah? But because Britain is respected, people have said, leave it. He's not supposed to be very near there now. They would have called for it. Do you know what George Soros is doing to this court? And the Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, all those agencies, Open Society Foundation, do you know they pay to sustain? George Soros Open Society Foundation pays to sustain witnesses in their homes and their livelihood. Did you know that? And they have demanded that Khan gets out. So if you are thinking Khan is there, the case is going to go there, he will be there. He might not be there. What did I tell you? Miriam, didn't I tell you that you touch Bashir? Didn't I tell you? You touch Bashir, you trigger a coup. You want to airlift Bashir to the Hague. Another general will shoot you. No, my sister, at times, because for me I talk too much. Tell them you are the only humble one who listens to my words. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that?
We've been saying that here, Doc.
I said
so many times.
It is a terrible mistake for Karim Khan to start his work in Khartoum. He's gonna trigger a coup. Hasn't the coup taken place? So trust Matanga on international scene. Forget this rambling lawyers that Harvey has not even gone to Britain. Look at it, Harvey's passport. The only place he knows is Democratic Republic of Congo, where he was born.
He will be going to Canada soon to bring Miguna back home.
Does he know even which plane goes to Canada? We're song. At the time with you people Kenyans, you Harvey knows DRC forest, Democratic Republic of Garamba Park. But Harvey, look at the way Harvey walks. Can he even climb a plane? The only plane that Harvey walks is Kisumu and Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Have you ever heard that Havi is going for a conference where? What can he talk in those conferences? Does he have enough good English and PR to talk? Wachana na hiyo maneno. Give my friend has suffered. My friend Miguna has suffered because people give him wrong advice. That's all I can tell you. I know how painful it is to be in exile. So have you seen Miguna ever write about him? I am quiet. He never, because he knows I've suffered. And therefore, for Harvey to say he's going, don't make the situation. Abraham Lincoln told you, and I quote, from my head, not from books, that when you have a problem, don't make it bigger. Isn't it true, Wesonga?
Very true, Dr. Matsanga.
When Abraham Lincoln saw the Trent War coming, the Trent War, I'm teaching students here, T-R-E-N-T, between the British and the USA, the British nationals who had captured the United States. He chose to be diplomatic, political diplomacy, silent diplomacy. He averted a catastrophe between the mainland Britain, which would have conquered him. You remember? So don't make this problem of this gentleman worse by publicizing when you don't even know how to use forks on a plane. Does Harvey know how to use forks on a plane? Which plane has he flown to? Wesonga write that one in the social media and ask him. That Dr. Matsanga says, Harvey, do you really know how to use a fork on a plane or seat belt? Ajamen, tuambiane ukweli. A man who has never even gone to Britain here, the last he has gone maybe the DRC, overflying Uganda, then Entebbe, then DRC, Congo. Tell him that the Kinshasa, yes, but where? To reach Canada. Does he know how many hours in Canada now? How many hours are we behind in Canada? He has to Google. Does he know IATA regulations? Can he recite one IATA regulation to the Kenyans before he does populist statements? Why can't people approach this thing with silent diplomacy, quietly? It's very easy for the government of Kenya, despite all the insults, to surrender a passport, to give Miguna a passport. He's a Kenyan. He's entitled to the passport. That's true. He's entitled to the passport. But there are procedures. Is he the only one who has a dual nationality? Is he in the world? Jamen. Even Canadian passport, where kila pale unaenda pale lazima upate visa. But there are people who have a passport which, when you show it, hakuna hata visa wanakupatia. Hey, wachana! Don't, please. Hey. Have you heard? It's good you brought. Harvey knows maybe he's going to visit Mabutu Sese Seko's home in the forest of Garamba Park, Ituri. So, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, those who have been watching me, I have brought out all this for the sake of unity of our African countries. Kenya needs that unity. We need no violence. We need not to pelt people with stones, with bottles. We need not to demonstrate, to kill what we have. In Uganda today, when you see red card, what does the red card is this football? You know, some people jokers when they want this money of George Soros. They bring so many tactics. Look at it, Zimbabwe, Miriam. An MDC deputy leader abducts himself. And then he says he has been abducted. Because he wants to, he was given dollars. Now he can't account for the people, for the money. Justice Mutunga here. Mutunga. Did you see Justice Mutunga?
They'll be going with Harvey to Canada.
No, Mutunga. Mutunga is justifying the dollars that the Ford Foundation and the George Soros put forward.
Mutunga and Harvey are going to bring Miguna home.
You don't know what Mutunga does. Mutunga, is he going with David Ndii?
I'm not sure, but at least Harvey and Mutunga, the two have confirmed.
David Ndii and Mutunga are partners. Are they going together? Because one cannot function without the other. Did you know that? Mutunga cannot write English without David Ndii. Hallelujah! Today you wanted me to say what? I don't drink alcohol anymore. And you have told me to go to church. From here I'm going. And unfortunately, Sapiti has closed it. We don't know whether it is open.
It is open.
Yes, I will go there quietly. Mutunga is going where? Mutunga is justifying the little money he has got from George Soros, sponsored him to sleep in a hotel, in a plane. But the big dollars are kept here back in Kitui. Jamen, musikule pesa yawa. The Kenyans are now on the streets. We had it. Where is Boniface Mwangi? Is he not in Dubai? Where is Mutua? Is Mutua not in Dubai? What were they doing? Be investigative journalists like Matanga. Is it a coincidence that both of them were found each other in Dubai? One said his house was bombed.
Doc, something else is also happening in Dubai.
Uh-huh.
There is an expo, a conference there called the African Oil Week in Dubai. So I don't know why we're having an African Oil Week in Dubai. And one of the countries that is participating in this conference is Somalia. And apparently Somalia had intentions of signing some international agreements. And so one of the states in Somalia, Puntland, came out and is warning the federal government not to sign any agreements with any foreign companies at that conference in Dubai. So they're saying that will be a problem. You see, now another problem on top of another problem. But why are we having an African Oil Week in Dubai? I was asking yesterday. Maybe you could help me understand.
I had a view on that one, and I know the answer. Most of these guys who fly into Dubai, they get allowances to buy perfumes for their concubines.
And that is
it is like no, wait, I'm coming. It is like a warrior flying concubines from Kenya to take concubines. Do you know where? To Rio de Janeiro, where Brazil has the most beautiful, tall ladies, tall in size, beautiful, salsa. Then you fly concubines from here, pay the ticket. Then they gave him a very light sentence. They should have sentenced him harder than that. Now, the people going to Dubai, that Dubai, Africa, or you know what, some of them lie to the governments.
But why are we having an African Oil Week in Dubai and not here in this continent?
The oil in Dubai is finished.
It's like we're taking ourselves to the dinner table and we're going to be the dinner.
Exactly.
People are going to eat.
That is didn't I tell you we are bewitched?
I think so.
We are bewitched. We are bewitched. It is like getting Obasanjo to go and solve a problem in in Ethiopia when he cannot even arrest one Boko Haram? Yeah. Are we not bewitched?
Mm-hmm. And Somalia has some oil, fields it wants to sign agreements on. Do you think that those ones on the disputed territory?
Somalia is now selling exactly the disputed territory.
Because now Puntland is against those agreements that Somalia intends to sign.
So it is creating a problem, and here nobody in Kenya is speaking about it. By tomorrow you will see ships loaded with all machines drilling. Nobody is saying it now. Nobody. All the Kenyan newspapers, you see Ruto. Everybody here, Ruto, we love you, we love you. The newspaper, television station, even there is one person in KTN, Morning Man, Morning Express. He should not be on TV, my God. Us. In fact, when he talks, he's caught. One presenter is caught. Us. He says us. He's already yellow. He has been impregnated with yellow fever. You know, when you want to go to Tanzania, you need a yellow fever ticket. So nobody is talking about it. The media is not talking about it, isn't it?
Well, I am. I did yesterday.
At least
I was hoping you would come here and then maybe you could.
Bankline is talking about it. How Somalia now is quietly selling the oil and assigning contracts there. Kenya is not protesting. No protesting. I will have to issue a statement maybe today. Then you'll see some people condemning me. Why is he issuing a statement? Because they're quiet, isn't it, Wesonga? Nobody is protesting. Somalia is now selling the oil. It will sell those oil without. Are you there? Are people there screening the agreement? Nobody. Matsanga is an activist. If I'd been in that expo, I would enter Somalia stand and disrupt it. I'm telling you, I would disrupt it. And I said there's no signing this agreement.
So Puntland state is doing the same. It's warning the federal government of Somalia and saying you cannot, because even in Somalia itself, there are no proper laws that govern resource sharing, and it appears maybe perhaps some of these oil fields could be in Puntland and other states. So they are putting up an arm against what the Somali government intends to do.
Yeah.
And the conference ends today, so we'll see maybe if they will do that at the end of today.
Let me tell you, they have concluded, you are right, they have already now concluded. You will see ships, drilling ships, flying near the Kenya border, which is disputed territory, sinking their pipes down the sea. By the time we wake up in Kenya, the oil is gone. So you come and tell me what wrong I have done. I've been shouting for this oil. I was told, fine. When you say, they say they have done it. Now, where have they done it? And then we have the ambassadors here. They are here. Turkey, UAE, Qatar. They are enjoying. You find them in Kempinski enjoying our food and our women around here.
And this oil week that is happening in the African oil week that is happening in Dubai, I still have troubles understanding why that is even necessary.
Why
is it a coincidence?
No, it is your oil.
Outside the continent, like why are we having African oil week?
You didn't see something very interesting. You have not seen another one. There is e-commerce. Have you seen another one? E-commerce tying with a bank from Dubai, tying with a bank, National Bank of Kenya, for traders. Have you seen how we create corruption in this country?
And we invite, because when you're having such a conference outside of the continent and it's a conference on the continent, African Oil Week, that is what it has been dubbed, you're already inviting some other third party onto the table, and at the end of it all, we'll start complaining about external influence and things like that. And that's not okay.
It is external.
We're inviting them.
You know, we don't have the money, but the officials of our governments that are handling these agreements as Africans, they are paid heftily. I saw this during Amina Mohamed's election as AU chairperson in Addis Ababa. I caught one foreign minister of Zimbabwe pocketing new notes of 50,000 notes. I took a picture from my pen. I have special pens. And I showed Mugabe, surely is this the man you call your foreign minister? Didn't you see Mugabe sack him the following day? Mugabe, the late Mugabe, sacked Mr. Simbarashi Mumabebegwe. Alipatiwa pesa, I saw. The people who are giving money from Morocco in order for Zimbabwe, the president was swinging. Zimbabwe is the only country in SADC that stood by Kenya. Mugabe in SADC stood by Kenya in the second round of voting on Amina Mohamed. I was in the hall. So don't tell me some of these quacks here. They don't even know how Ethiopia smells like. Then they were when I heard Kuambia Matanga ajui. Me, I've been everywhere. I was in the hall. And then I took a picture in Sheraton Hotel in Ethiopia. The woman, they came, gave Mubebe money, and I showed the former Minister of Tourism, called him Walter Muzembe, that have you seen there? That's the money now. The only countries that never received the money on Amina's election as AU chairperson were the following: Kenya, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Zimbabwe. The rest of the countries were paid, including South Africa. There you are. There you are. Magufuli. I found Magufuli and the foreign minister. They are gone and I don't want to talk ill about them. I went to the toilet. For short call, they were in the toilet. Hey, I don't want to say anything. Let me keep quiet. Let me keep quiet. I've told you that those are the countries that never received Morocco money. Morocco paid every African country except those countries. Kagame stood firm. Zimbabwe, Mugabe, that Mugabe, may your soul stay longer, Maba. We meet in that paradise. Even if you are in this side and this side, or we are together, let's go together. You stood firm with Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe broke the ranks of SADC and voted for Kenya. Ethiopia, that the former prime minister voted for Kenya. Somalia rejected Kenya. Djibouti voted for Kenya. Have you seen the countries that voted for Kenya? For Amina Mohamed? The rest were paid. I took a picture, a video of Zimbabwe's foreign minister, Mr. Mubebegu, picking money from this lady of oil, Total Oil, who had sent the PA down to give the money. Was it money for what? You know how good $10 notes, $100 new ones, how they look like. So I said, Mugabe is practical. And I sent the video to my friend to give the president. The following morning, Mugabe reshuffled the cabinet. Shuffled the cabinet. Finished. Finito. Sacked him. Put him in some ministry you cannot even use cow dung to build a house. Those are, you know, Africa, when you talk about it now, the e-commerce, it is them, it is those countries benefiting that the bank in Kenya has created the e-commerce so that the goods from Dubai can be bought in this bank here. Have you seen the problem? Corruption in Giapo. How shall we trace this money laundering? Of course, Ruto is going to be the biggest beneficiary. He's an expert of money laundering syndicate. By the way, Ugandans are still waiting for this factory. I'm told the factory has overgrown with grass from the foundation stone. You remember the factory of Harun Ayadin? Lest Kenyans like Sharon, who has been listening attentively, forget. Sharon, make your final presentation. Miriam, that is your final parting shot with Songa. We close. I think I've opened up so much. Some of these things are very bitter, painful for me. I've suffered quite a lot on this long journey. I still support President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I will support him whether in Kenya or outside Kenya. He remains my favorite man on the African continent for having steered this nation and has shown the spirit of Pan-Africanism, that it can live and you can work, you can talk from anywhere as long as you are an African. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. God bless you. But let me see what Sharon. Those are my comments.
Thank you very much, Dr. Matanga, and thank you for, your extensive discussion. But just to, sum up, as we are actually talking about peace, is just to, appeal to each and every political leader to actually learn how to, conquer by persuasion and not just, not necessarily being combative, because at the end of the day, we need a peace, and you realize it is actually a collective responsibility for each and every person, even the angry mob. There are better things that you can do. You don't necessarily have to turn up there. You can actually just stay at home. But then I also had an appeal, I think, during the week where I was actually requesting if it's actually possible for these political leaders to, get into designated areas like, stadiums, because you see like the kind of chaos that they cause, you realize that they actually disrupt the normal, normal programming. Looking at these actually roads that are used by, travelers who actually need to travel far and beyond, not just Kisumu. So there's also that aspect of if they could actually move to designated areas, and I think basically that is it. Let us endeavor to preach up the gospel of peace, not just now, during and after the elections. Kenya is a big country. It is bigger than all of us, and the moment we united we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.
Songa.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Masanga David. And of course, you've really exhausted this particular topic. And the message that should go out there for our politician clearly is that we need a peace and prosperity for our country. And there can be no prosperity if we do not have peace. And therefore, let them not engage in activities that will derail this particular agenda of achieving peace that is being spearheaded by President Uhuru Kenyatta and the handshake partner, Raila Odinga. Also, to maybe politicians like the deputy president, I would like to echo whatever Sharon has said, that we can use designated places where we hold rallies, not maybe to disrupt other programs that are happening in the localities, or maybe even getting into an area that has been classified as a risky area by the intelligence agencies in this country. So my plea is to the political class to actually pick notes of whatever you've given out there, Dr. Masanga. It's very, very important for this country, for its own posterity, that we become a peaceful people. We actually put value in our unity and peace. And also, this goes to the people of Kenya themselves. Let them not be used as pawns to cause chaos and upheaval in the areas of locality. And of course, those who are found culpable of causing chaos, like we saw in Kondele, they should actually be captured and be arrested by the relevant agencies, and let everyone carry their own personal crosses. We should not perhaps use this as fodder for political witch hunt, where some political leaders maybe unfavorably put it or maybe hang it on the neck of the other political partners, so that they make them look or paint them in bad light, like we saw the deputy president trying to bring in the Raila Odinga in the picture. And of course, Raila Odinga today in the morning, while talking in one of the vernacular radio stations, has said that he does not have even time to go to the in local places to mobilize anyone to attack the deputy president. And therefore, every political leader is free to campaign in any part of the country. There is no any segment of the country which belongs to Raila Odinga. There is no segment that belongs to William Ruto. There is no segment that belongs to His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, nor even Kalonzo Musyoka, or maybe Aden Duale in northeastern Kenya. I submit, Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much. I also found letters last night, as we summarize, some residents of Karen, picking on the point that Sharon has said. Some residents in Karen are up in arms for the confusion and the pollution, noise pollution, that is being caused around Karen by cars being parked on all sides. So Sharon has a point there. I wish they found a stadium where they can be, so that they don't disrupt everybody. Again, it is Ruto. He doesn't care about it. This is the guy you want to select, by the way. He doesn't care about the noise pollution. Karen is full of Wazungu, Wahindi, Wanani. You know, I don't like to stay in Karen because it's a place full of people who are, I don't want to say it here. Miriam will not like my on our show. I don't want to spoil it. But even if you give me a house in Karen, I don't take it. I don't know why. My heart just refused. Honestly, I don't know. Even if you call me for a drink or food that side, I find those people very different. I think maybe I'm on the other side of Galilee.
So the political activities at the official DP's residence is causing disruption around.
Yes, and noise pollution. You know, people think that it's only the gas. That noise pollutes. If people come with the cars and loudspeakers playing music in a residential area, there are children dying there. There are people, older people living in their houses peacefully. The deputy president has taken a war in a silent place. This is the man you want to lead you tomorrow. You will allow every cow to come here in town, in the upper Mujijini. You know, he doesn't care about the laws. Cars around the deputy president's residence, back on both sides, that there is no car coming down, you have to wait. And there is a traffic jam now, because people have gone for handouts. Now the handouts are bringing chaos. Time has come for the government to come in, either to specify whether the house can be used for political parties, use, you know what you can use? The MNS to storm and take away the mavuli, that umbrella. Then Ruto can remain with his sitting room and dining. Then he can meet his people. But not to put an umbrella in that compound. That's noise pollution. Yes.
And also something very important, I've seen the letter, Doc, that you've quoted. Also, they're saying there's been an increase of insecurity and muggings because of, a couple of weeks ago, we saw a video where some young people had been invited there. I think they were not paid or something, so they started causing some chaos outside of the residence.
Exactly.
So they're saying now there's been a place where there were no muggings, there were no issues of insecurities. There has been a rise because people in Karen want to have a jog in the morning, want to walk their dogs, want to go on with their...
You can't walk the dog
they
now.
Can't do that because of insecurities.
Miriam, let me tell you, shock you.
Don't shock me now.
If you walk your dog near Ruto's house, those boys will kill your dog. And you remain with the chain. There are people. You are carrying people from Capedo, bringing them here. You are carrying people from Muranga, from Coast, from Kisii, from where, that come. For what? Why don't you give them this thing silently?
I think that is
a
legitimate concern for the residents there. I think maybe DP should be more mindful of the other people who share that locality.
We shall talk about it tomorrow. Tomorrow in Social Africa is a very big concern. Can the government gazette areas for these campaigns?
Yes.
And I say, at least if you want to meet people, meet them in a gazetted area of a stadium.
Kamanyayo Stadium, maybe. City.
Yes.
Yeah.
The deputy president can take people to Jamhuri Park. Always can make, that is a place where there are facilities for toilet. How do these people go in the toilet of the deputy president? A house whose toilet were made for only the family. We are causing environmental pollution. And at times they wait there for 10 hours before finally the deputy president emerges. Pollution, disease, spread of disease, which is still in the air. We are not yet out of COVID-19, jamani. Tuambiane ukweli, Miriam. The MNS, is it Metropolitan Nairobi something?
NMS.
Nairobi NMS, Nairobi Metropolitan Service, move in and remove the tent. Toa tent kama watu wako, toa! Wakuwe kwa mchana kwa mvua. That house is not supposed to be used by that. That house is to meet delegations, ambassadors, accredited to Kenya. A few of your people, but not a crowd. We are violating environmental rules. I used to have a nightclub, as I finish for you. My nightclub was called Club 791 in London. Those who have, the only man who could build a nightclub in white area. Police even loved me more. Miriam, I used to play music up to morning. I did not know that Croydon Council has a machine that measures the sound levels. So they came and put that machine without, you know, when you are black guy from here, what can we do? Ruto style, watafanya nini? I used also to be like that in that age when I was in London in the 90s. Ruto, hey. And welcome music. Paka mpaka morning. Kumbe, Croydon Council, the levels of music, my friend, were too high. Do you know that Miriam always went for murder? From noise. When they read this charge sheet in in Croydon Environmental Court, they said they even told me how many people elderly live around there whose lives I had disturbed. I'm telling you, sorry, I'm telling you the truth, my sister. The charge sheet was longer than Jesus Christ crossing Galilee to give food at Capernaum. You remember, did you know where he came from? they read me sections, and all these sections were sung and Sharon and Miriam were really touching my heart. When they said the babies don't sleep at night because of of environmental pollution. Me, I said, there is no smoke. I don't even put smoke. They said pollution does not mean. What to quit? Akironyo. The people in the test, so I'm greeting you. They charged me. Miriam, they fined me 2,000 pounds. And you know 2,000 pounds of 1998 was a lot of money. They said instead of suspending your license, Sikia here, so we shall fine you that money because the restaurant, as the man was sentencing me, he said, the restaurant has played a bigger role in resettling the refugees that came from Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Kenya. By then, Kenyans had also come as refugees because they used to call me Mukibizi. But in 92, after Moiha cracked on them, they poured in like a water and a rain in London. So, you never know where you end. So, they said he has played a very big role in resettling people. But the judge now said, but that does not mean you pollute and kill people. Because here, so many elderly people complain. Kumbe watu wanaandika complaint. I saw elderly people being wheeled there, coming to give evidence in the same, wow, my God. I felt like running out of the court through the window and jump out. So pollution, which the deputy president is doing, up there in Karen, one resident will take the government to task, and that house will be closed. The judges, unfortunately, are in the pockets of someone. They might not rule in favor of the government, but it could close that house or restrict the number of people in the house. Anyway, we are used to it. I'm told in Isli, Somalis stay like 50 in one room on top of each other. So we don't know. It's still pollution. So thank you very much. Let me go and have my breakfast or my lunch. I only eat once and I've taken water. I'm very happy, Miriam. I'm following your footsteps, and you can see. I hope today the voice was okay. Until I started getting very worked out over the things that Ruto does, and the people who throw stones, I'm not happy with them. Thank you very much.
Hey, Doc, you really must care about Ruto. He gets you worked up. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching the extended version of Editor's Memo today. I think everything that was said was necessary and Doc needed. a session there to just speak his heart and his mind, and he did. Well, thank you for watching. Doc, thank you so much. And Daniel Wesonga and Sharon Gitonga, I'll see you later with more news from the continent. Thank you for watching.
Okay, thank you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.